As a real estate agent, it's incredibly important to perfect your scripts. And today I'm going to share with you how to become a script master. Not only are we going to share our complete handbook of scripts, but also how to get started. Hi, my name is Mruwat. I'm with eXp Realty, where I've coached and trained thousands of real estate agents all over the world. And today I'm going to share with you proven scripts that we've used, anything from for sale by owners to expireds to calling your sphere, and how to get started. So first, it's going to start with defining your goals. What are your objectives? So again, anytime you make a call or you set an appointment, it's incredibly important to become more intentional on every appointment and call you make. Again, we can do a lot of what we call busy work, but you really want to focus on the high leverage activities. And those are going to be the activities that I'll kind of mention later on as your power hour, your prospecting, because ultimately prospecting is where you're going to control the outcome in your real estate business. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. There's a lot of limiting beliefs around cold calling or scripts. And it's, the most common one that I hear is, I don't want to call now because I'm bothering them. So the reality is, it's all going to start in your mindset. Do you believe that when you call a potential client that you're bothering them, or are you helping them? When I call real estate agents and I'm out there trying to help real estate agents increase their business, I truly believe that I'm helping their business, that I'm not bothering them, because I know that we've changed a lot of real estate agents' lives and businesses all over the world. So again, it's going to start with your mindset first before you even pick up the phone. It's also going to be incredibly important that you're consistent with your prospecting efforts. And so I encourage every real estate agent to set aside what I like to call a power hour. That could be an hour or two every single day. And this is where you have intentional conversations with people in your database, past clients, and also new prospects. Don't be afraid to ask for the appointment or the referral. Anytime you have someone on the phone, the end goal is always, what is that next step? So don't be afraid to ask for that next appointment. Also, I like to do the prospecting calls first thing in the morning, especially if you're an agent, maybe you're a little new to cold calling, or you're just not quite seasoned like some of us are, then you definitely push it off to the end of the day. But what happens is, that's one of the worst things that you can do. You always want to do your undesired task first and foremost at the beginning of the day, because what happens is it mentally drains you throughout the day, and you leave the afternoon, and by that the whole day is blown and you haven't done anything. So definitely, if there's certain tasks that you don't enjoy, I always recommend doing the undesired task first and foremost in the morning. Then you're going to feel like you've conquered the entire day. Also, on your calls, set expectations and know the conversion rates for yourself. If the average conversion rate, let's say, is 3%, and you're making 100 calls, then you know you're going to have 3 really good conversations. If you don't know not only the national average of conversion rates, but also the personal conversion rates for yourself, then you're not going to set the proper expectations. And that's where you might get a little deterred and not continue your calls. So first off, I want you to ask yourself, how much could you earn if you were well prepared and practiced, right? Why did you originally get into real estate? Are you fulfilling those goals? Because the reality is, every other profession must practice. Why would it be different as any other real estate agent? So the number one reason for failure is your own mindset. And so if you look at your surgeon, for example, do you want him practicing for the first time in the operating table? My guess is probably not, right? The professional athlete, I guess, the game is not the first time that he's ever practiced. They've practiced hundreds and thousands of hours before ever hitting the field. And it's no different in real estate. We must practice before we get on the phone. If we don't, that's where we're going to stumble on our words, we're going to stumble on objections, and we're not going to know how to handle them. So it's really important that not only you practice, maybe you get an accountability partner that will give you some criticism and some honest feedback, but also record those conversations and hear yourself. Because honestly, a few words can change the entire conversation. Also, before you make your calls, who is your ideal client? You want to determine your ideal client first. What problem do you solve for them? Because we always want to lead with value. That's how you're going to build a long-term sustainable business. I recommend that you have no more than 4 lead generation buckets. It could be past clients, referrals, for sale by owners, expireds, or maybe even using your social media. Now, The next important point before we get into scripts is how much time are you spending on your plan? And plan starts with prospecting, lead follow-up, appointments, and then of course negotiating contracts. Because the reality is you can do everything that I've mentioned here. You can determine your ideal client. You can do your power hour every single day where you're prospecting. But if you don't have a lead follow-up plan and setting appointments, then none of this matters. So it's important to track your numbers and what your conversion rates to set appointments and then of course close deals. Now, of course, with any scripts, and scripts are just the anatomy of a conversation, it's important what you say. You always want to ask good questions. Remember, we have one mouth, two ears. You want to be listening a lot more than you're talking. Now, one of the biggest challenges that I find with scripts is a lot of real estate agents say they don't want to sound scripted. If you sound scripted, it's frankly because you haven't practiced enough. When you practice your scripts over and over again and you're making those calls, you're going to adapt it to yourself and your personality. More importantly, you want to mirror that script based on the personality of the person that you're talking. I often follow the DISC profile. If you're a high D personality, if I'm talking with another high D personality, it might be a little more short and to the point. So it's definitely important to recognize the other person on the other side of the line and mirror their energy. More importantly, don't only just ask good questions, but listen to their answers. They could be telling you something incredibly important. I talk to real estate agents all the time, and by the end of it, I'm going to know, their family history, how many kids they have, what's their latest vacation, what their goals are, all of these different things before we even talk about business, because it's important to always build that relationship first. Don't make yourself sound automated and scripted. Again, that's going to become from practicing. And also you want to show that you care and you're sincere in helping them. Tell your potential client what makes you different. Of course, if you're in a very competitive market, there's probably thousands of real estate agents in your market. What's going to separate yourself from the pack? Again, what problem do you solve for that client? And what problem do they have and how can you solve it? Reassure consistently throughout the conversation. I'm often using the potential client's first name over and over again in the conversation and reassuring based on what they've said. And that's going to help you not come across as salesy, but also you want to speak with certainty. I've listened to a lot of real estate agents make calls, and oftentimes when they are questioning themselves or maybe asking the potential client, believe it or not, they ask the client what they think. Instead of speaking with certainty, that's when you're really going to take away the credibility of yourself as a real estate professional. So also, very, very important, when you first make the call, always introduce yourself. If I'm introducing myself, hey, this is Mruwat. I'm with eXp Realty. The reason I'm calling you today is boom, boom, boom. And I say that because as somebody from the other side, I absolutely hate when I get calls and they leave me guessing on why they're even calling. They don't tell me until they're a few minutes in on the reason why they're calling today. Okay? I often ask also up front, did I catch you at a good time? Do you have a couple of minutes? And this is for two really important reasons. Number one, you always want to appreciate the other person's time. Time is a commodity. Time is something that we cannot get back. And number two, if they tell you that they have a couple of minutes, now they're not going to be rushing to get you off the phone. Okay, so now let's dive into scripts. Again, practice is going to make you more professional. I'm going to share with you just a few basic scripts, but also if you want to get our full script handbook, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, comment below, and we'll actually send you a free script handbook that has all of our best scripts in it. All right, so let's get back. So referrals, after you've closed with a client, let them know, hey, I loved working with you and would love to help others that you care about. Is there anyone that you know that I can help, right? Or my goal is to sell, let's say 10 homes this year. I would love if you can help me out. Do you know anyone that may be in the market for a new home in the next 6 months? So again, I'm not asking them directly for the business. I'm asking them if they know someone. Do you know anyone recently married, had a baby, promoted at their job? They may be able to use my services and I would love to reach out. I wanted to share with you some exciting news. This is great if you're a new real estate licensee. I just got my real estate license and I have an awesome mentor. I'm looking for my first few clients. Can you help me out? Now, one thing that I really want to highlight here is it's 80% energy, 20% strategy, 20% of what you're actually saying. A lot of times we're focused so much on the words and less about using our hands, our energy. Even if you're on the phone, all of this matters. So they're going to get excited if you're excited. Now, again, record yourself. Make sure you're not getting too overly excited. Here's a few good basic scripts for sale by owners. Are you accepting offers? Great. I would love to come take a tour. Is today at 4 or tomorrow at 12 better for you? It's always good, again, to set that next appointment. Instead of asking just when is better for you, I gave them 2 time options. Another one, I work with buyers in your area. I'm not familiar with your house. Can I stop by today after dinner for a quick tour? Aside from paying a commission, is there any other reason why you wouldn't hire a professional? Again, just asking good questions. Here's a few for expired listings. I see your home just came off the market. If I brought you a buyer, are you still looking to sell? Why do you feel your home didn't sell the last time? You've already been through the listing process. What would you have done differently? What deciding factors are you looking in hiring your next and final agent? Okay. If I'm calling just a straight out internet lead, again, I'm going to introduce myself first. Hey, this is Mruwat. I'm with eXp Realty. I noticed that you were looking at 123 Main Street. Can you grab a pen and paper so I can share with you some information that's not available online? So 2 really important things there. I'm introducing myself and I'm giving them information that's not available online. I'm leading with value. Now, you may be asking, what happens if they don't answer the phone? If they don't answer the phone, then I'm actually going to get my phone out and I'm going to record a short 10, 15 second video. And I'm going to say, hey, this is Mruwat with eXp Realty. I just left you a voicemail, but I wanted you to be able to put a face with the name. Please let me know if you're available today after 6. I'd love to talk with you. Okay. Door knocking, another incredible great script, especially if you're hosting open houses. I always recommend door knocking the neighborhood before you host an open house. We're hosting an open house down the street, and I'd love to invite you for a sneak preview only for the neighbors. We just sold your neighbor's house over asking in less than 24 hours. Do you know anyone else in the neighborhood looking to sell? Okay, again, these are some basic scripts. If you want our full handbook, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment below. We'll send it to you. But the most important thing with scripts is letting it flow. Scripts are meant to keep the conversation on track. But you also have to prepare for the unexpected. And again, that's when practice comes into play. Keep reverting back to your questions. Have your list of questions. Allow them to answer. Most importantly, listen to the answer and then go back to your list of questions. Find ways to connect with your potential client. Maybe look them up on social media. Hey, your kids love soccer too. Awesome. My kids are playing soccer. How many kids do you have? How old are they? Things that can allow you to personally relate. Keep your script simple. No long-winded questions. We don't want to bulk 2-3 questions into one. And it's importantly to build rapport. And one of the ways that you can do that was with what most common way is using FORD, which stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Don't ask, how are you doing? That's what everybody does, right? How are you doing? Good. Don't ask unless you really care, right? Now, I know that we care, but it comes across and it sounds like we don't when we say, hey, this is Micah, how are you doing? Is there a home that you've seen that comes to mind? How many bedrooms or bathrooms do you want? These are great questions to ask. Now, when you're looking at scripts, you're also looking at objection handling. It's not you, it's about the situation. So it's important to remove your personal feelings. If they're asking you about a commission discount, no, I don't do commission discounts. Do you have any other questions? It's as easy as that. Maybe you're not experienced. So you can let them know, hey, I'm highly motivated. That's what brought me here, able to meet with you today. I have a great mentor and I'm happy to help. Maybe it's not the right time. So you could ask them, did something change to make you not want to sell? Maybe the question or objection is about pricing. It's not about what you or I feel your home is worth, but it's what the market is telling us that will yield the most buyers. I would rather see you decline 3 offers than never receive one because we're overpriced. So again, when you have practiced these scripts, you're going to be a complete master and there's probably no objection that you can't handle. Now, some of the keys to becoming a script master is also role playing. You want to get away from all distractions and you have to become laser focused. Start role playing immediately, no small talk. So if you're calling an accountability partner, you want to get into the role play. Again, you want to respect their time. You don't want to spend 10, 15 minutes doing small talk and then get into the role play. Start role playing immediately. Keep it short and sweet. Create a schedule and commit. No cancellations or rescheduling. Find an accountability partner who's going to be true and honest. Also set objectives for the call. So say, hey, today we're going to cover 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to give feedback. Cherish and value your time because time, of course, as I mentioned, is sacred. Stay on script, give real feedback. Eliminate your ego. That's a big one. That's one of the biggest reasons why we don't allow feedback is because of our own ego. And get feedback from someone unrelated to your industry. So there is a direct correlation between how much you're willing to practice and the results you'll achieve in business every single day. So again, it's all important when you're looking at scripts, it's important that you always end with a close. And one of the easiest ways I can share this with you is using CATS, where you compliment, maybe again, you look through their social media and find something to relate with them. You attract, you share information about yourself to build rapport. Take away, how can you help them? And then, of course, last but not least, schedule a call or the next meeting time. So always ask, just to kind of wrap it up, ask good questions. It's about them, it's not about you. What makes you want to move? In a perfect world, where would you like to close? Where would you like to live? How many homes? Where will you be moving? What are the 3 most important factors in your next home? All of these different types of questions, okay? So again, as a real estate agent, it's incredibly important to become a script master. If it's something that you're not comfortable with, I would argue it's probably something that you haven't practiced enough. Just like any other profession, it's something that we must practice. From being the surgeon in the operating room to the professional athlete, we've got to practice before we pick up the phone. And in the last but not least, setting aside an intentional power hour. This is where you're going to prospect, because prospecting is where, as a real estate agent, you're going to control the outcome. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to go ahead and like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this today.